Hi guys, Jon Watts here from the TruGolf Academy. You've joined me at Drayton Park Golf Club, and today I'm out on the 9th green where I'm going to be talking to you about chipping. This is part 2, so part 1 of the video was talking about the setup. Part 2 today, I want to discuss with you the club selection, what I call the air and roll percentages. So it's how we choose which club we're going to take from where. So there are some players and some successful players that will tend to keep the club the same every time, and they'll vary how far they'll fly the ball through swing length and speed. For me, it just seems a bit of a waste when we're allowed up to 14 clubs in our bag. So I've always taught it a method really where I would try and vary the club as much as possible. I work on a pitching wedge being very much a 50-50 club. So what I mean by that is it will spend half the time in the air and half the time rolling along the ground. Over my right shoulder here, you may be able to just make out my bag, and there's a few golf balls there. Those golf balls are about 5 paces, 5 yards to my landing circle. That's that black and yellow circle. So what I do on the course, once you've chosen your landing areas, I want you to try and imagine a dustbin lid or a hula hoop, which is your landing area. So it's about 5 paces to that. So I'm expecting the pitching wedge to fly 5 yards and a roll another 5 yards. And what I work off is it changing by 10% per club. So if I was using a lower lofted club, like a 9-iron, that's going to be 40% in the air and 60% rolling along the ground. An 8-iron would therefore be 30% in the air and 70% a roll. A 7-iron that I've got over there that I'm going to hit a couple for you as well is going to be a 20% in the air and 80% along the ground. If I was moving the other way from my pitching wedge, remembering that the pitching wedge is a 50-50 club, a sand wedge is actually going to be a 60% in the air, 40% along the ground, and a lob wedge 70% in the air. Okay, so I try and vary the club. Now I've worked those percentages out playing most of my golf on UK greens where we've got stimps of about 8 or 9. If you're playing somewhere in warmer climates than today and you've got quick firm greens, those percentages are going to change. What I would ask you to do is actually grab your pitching wedge, go ahead and hit a couple of those shots, and just working out the distance from where you're hitting them to your landing area to where they finish. So you can start to get an idea on whether that percentage for you on quicker greens might actually be with a pitching wedge of 40-60 like my 9-iron. But have a start point. So my start point with my pitching wedge is a 50-50. Now, what I would do to choose my landing area is I'm looking at the first bit of grass that is flat, dry, firm, consistent. If the grass conditions short of the green, the fringe grass, are short enough and dry enough to land a golf ball on, then go ahead and actually pick your landing area on your fringe grass. Here in the winter in the UK, I don't really want to land the ball, as nice as this actually is, I don't want to land the ball short of the green. I'm trying to land the ball about a yard on the green to give me a margin for error. Okay, so I'm landing on a consistent surface. And then I would stand up level with my landing area chosen, and I would try and work out those air and roll percentages. If, for instance, I then judged it was 30-80, good maths there, sorry, 30-70, that would be my 8-iron. I would just ask myself a couple other questions, just like I would do on a normal shot on the golf course. Is it uphill? Is it downhill? Into the wind, downwind? Is it hard and dry? Or is it soft and been raining the night before? I wouldn't vary my landing area necessarily. I would be changing my club selection. So if it was an 8-iron, 30-70, I'll get it right this time, but it's a little uphill, then I would actually still be using the same landing area, but I'd change the club. I'd go for one less loft. So I'd change from an 8-iron to a 7-iron. If it was a little downhill, I'd change from the 8-iron to a 9-iron, just like you guys do on a golf course. Okay, when you're assessing the wind, uphill or downhill and the conditions. So we're just tweaking the club once we've done that initial bit of maths. I'm going to go ahead and hit a couple for you. I'm going to start with a pitching wedge, so excuse me why I wander back here. But I'm going to go ahead and hit a couple of pitching wedges and just try and see if my maths equation, now that 50-50 is about right. And I'm going to go ahead and just show you that with a 7-iron, I'm going to be aiming to land the ball in the same place, but you're going to see a different amount of roll. Right. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a couple of practice swings, and I'm just going to have these practice swings while looking at my landing area, just trying to judge the swing length needed to land it in that circle. I'm going to set up, just like we talked about in the other video. I'm having one look at where I'm going to land it, eyes back, and go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit one more. That one I think actually will have rolled a little bit more than I wanted. Actually ended up, I think, just hitting down on it just a touch more. The club was snagging into the ground just a touch. It was okay. Let me hit one more for you. That was a better strike and landed pretty close to the front edge of that circle. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 paces, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paces. Okay, so I'm pretty close to my mass figure as I worked out 50-50 with the pitching wedge. It's pretty close. I'm just going to go ahead and hit one more shot, but with a 7-iron. On UK greens, really, I guess I'm taking anything from a 6-iron normally through to a lob wedge. There's no reason why you couldn't take less loft if it was a big green. If I was playing a links course or a double green, I've at times hit 4 irons and things like that where I wanted it to roll more, but generally it's somewhere between a 6 and a sand wedge or a lob wedge. So again, looking at my landing area, set up, one more look at where I'm going to land it. Landed just a little bit short, but it's probably rolling to you just in shot or just out of shot. A lot lower trajectory, a lot more run on landing. That one there, my 7-iron, is my 20-80 club. Okay, so what I want you to do is get your pitching wedge, work out what that percentage is. You'll find that if you change it per club by about 10%, you're going to get a real good sensation of how far the ball's going to fly and how far it's going to roll, and that's going to give you a lot more consistency, I think, around the green. We are on a lot of different social media outlets. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, under TruGolf Academy. Please do go and follow us on there. If you'd like to write any feedback, any comments, any other videos that you want us to do on YouTube, please do send those in to us. Hope you enjoyed the video. Do remember to subscribe to our channel and give us the thumbs up. Thanks, guys.